Hi. The next insight or characteristic of virtuosity I want to share is that the fingers on both hands, play together naturally and with precision. Your hands are perfectly synchronized, and this perfect coordination is innate or inherent. So if you've tried that, what I demonstrated in my last video, playing the black keys with flat fingers and the white keys with curved fingers or bent fingers, this is something you could notice. So if you try on the piano, you can hit random keys. I'll just hit any without thinking about it, and you can see I'm alternating between I'm playing black and white keys together. You can see that they play exactly at the same time. And I don't have to try. I don't will it to happen. It's not my decision. It happens by itself. So you might know from learning the piano that very often an approach is that you learn a piece hands separately, and then you put the hands together afterwards. Well, the idea of playing hands separately is an illusion. And trying, when your teacher says to you, okay, now try and put them together, that as well is an illusion, because your hands are not separate. So you can't, they're already together, and you can't put together what already is together. And if you think, you can see how your eyes, the information you get from your eyes can be misleading. Because if I look at my hands, what I see is two hands, and I see a space in between them, and I see, yeah, they're separate. But what I don't see is the fact that they're joined, and they're not at all separate. They're part of the one. You can't separate them. You can only separate them by cutting a hand off. And in my previous life, I'll have tried practicing, there'll be passages where you have to play the hands octaves, the same note on each hand's an octave apart, and you're trying to get them, to play at exactly the same time, and you're trying to will it to happen. You're focusing, and you're imagining the link. You're imagining the distance between each hand, and connecting those two hands together with some sort of an invisible, an invisible link. But the connection doesn't go through an invisible. It's not like Wi-Fi or something that it goes through the air. The connection goes through here, and the connection is already established. That's why I say that playing hands separately is an illusion. It's impossible to play hands separately. And so this ability is in you. It's innate. And what's the only reason it isn't happening is because, you know, you're being put on these, like what I said in the last video, these imitation onions, these false, these duplicate onions. And you're dealing with a new, you know, a genre of acrobatics, as Chopin said. And you're not encountering the problems of good music. You're busy trying to synchronize your two hands through this invisible and this path that doesn't even exist. There is no connection between the hands from here to here. The connection is through here. So try that, and I'd be very interested to hear in the comments what you noticed. Because if you notice that when you play the black keys with flat fingers and the white keys with curved fingers, you're in the world of virtuosity. And the fact that your control or your decision is gone, what's happening is, like I said in the last video about the quote about in being in the face of possibility and the dread delivering you into the hands of fate. When you observe that this is happening and you accept it, and so you stop trying to control the synchronization, and you stopped thinking it's down to you, because it's not down to you. It happens. Well, then you're closer into the hands of fate. When you're fully in the hands of fate is when you've observed everything that there is to observe, and you give yourself all you end up doing as a virtuoso is doing what you're not deciding to play it perfectly or virtuosically. You're doing what needs to be done in order for it to happen. And so that's the insight. So I can play Chopin's Prelude in E flat minor, number 14, and with pieces like that are, you know, there are a lot of Chopin pieces like that where the two hands play in unison. It means you don't have to work on keeping the hands together. That happens all by itself. So you are free to deal with the other difficulties you'll encounter in such a piece. So I can show you that piece. So a virtuoso does not need to work on coordination. It's there from the very first moment they try a piece. And if you've tried this, what I demonstrated in the last video with fingers flat on the black keys and curved on the white keys, and thought, no, this is not for me. Well, this is a characteristic that you've overlooked. So I would say try it again and notice that. And once you recognize or observe its existence, it's gonna it's going to have an enormous effect on your playing and how you approach music. When you're gonna, when the fingers play precisely at the same time, it has an effect, and you're gonna understand why a composer will add passages like it's not to annoy you, or it's not out of difficult. It has a unique effect, and you're going to enjoy those passages because it'll feel so natural. And I just want to say the difference between insight and information. Insight is going to help you when you're faced with the unknown, when you have to navigate uncharted waters. Insight helps you in that process, whereas information still leaves you, wondering. It doesn't really, it's not a tool, information. It doesn't help, where insight is like a guiding light. So this insight is going to guide you further, place you more securely in the hands of fate, and you're not going to talk around the dread, and you're going to behave properly in the face of possibility. You are noticing what exists beyond our doing, beyond our will, or beyond our decision making. You're going to notice that. So I'm going to demonstrate on the piano. I'll just play anything. I'll purposely, so it's nothing that I could have practiced, just to show you how synchronized the hands are. And and try it yourself, and please leave a comment. Let me know. I'd be very interested to hear your experiences in trying it out. And, if you like it, please leave a like and subscribe, because there's a lot more to come. Thanks.